Hello everyone, a very warm welcome to you once again. Thank you for clicking on this video and watching the channel. If you haven't subscribed so far and this is the first video you clicked on, well, you know, it might be worth having a look at a few videos there. We try and ease stress and have a bit of a laugh. It doesn't take it too seriously, as I don't, and I hope you don't as well. But it's an escape from the everyday life. So I hope you've had a good week. My name is Nick. A lot of you would know that already. I think I might have said that before. I've been overworked today. I've just got home on the bus and now we're just doing this end of week video. Used to go out walking. We haven't been doing for the last few weeks at least because of the lockdown and rules about video logs and all that sort of stuff. It's a bit hazy, which is a bit of a shame really because it's quite warm today. All the snow's gone and the cold weather's gone and we're having a couple of days of warm weather. So I hope it's similar where you are as well. You can still go out for a walk for exercise and stuff, but if you go out holding a camera, a bit dubious what would happen then. So there we go, but hopefully it isn't for too much longer. What they say, March or April we'll be allowed to go back out again, and then pubs will follow, schools are going first and all that sort of stuff. Who knows? They seem to change the rules quite quickly. But what's been happening with me this week? Well, if you follow me on Twitter, you'll know a few things that's happened. Last couple of weeks I've had problems with Windows 10 and I sorted that out each week by doing a restore to get the computer back how it was. The first couple of times was the worst, where the computer wouldn't reboot properly. Well, it's happened again the third week running, but this time, well, today, or yesterday really, but it's rebooted properly this time. So what I think was happening from speaking to someone on Twitter is my restore point was undoing the update there that's causing all the problems, but it was just putting the computer back to a point where it was about to download the update. So each time it's doing it each time. I did download something to try and block it, but that didn't work, and I don't want to put the internet on metered access because that might affect live streams and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, touch wood, it looks like it's all okay. There's been a number of issues caused by that this week, which has slowed things down live stream wise. Still managed to do 2, although the Amiga one was a little iffy, which we'll come up to in a minute there. Don't know if you watched that at all, but we seem to have got away with it. So Windows 10, I don't know if the recent update now included a fix for the update before, but touch wood, as I say, everything looks like it's running smoothly. But my file, I don't think this is to Windows 10, or it might be, I don't think it is, it's corrupted my save of Blundering Football. So because that was the third week I attempted to do it with a cross in the middle, I think what we're going to do in the future, so it's easier for me to run as well, because I can run the channel with the amount of content going up. If there's no issues, as soon as there's some issues going on somewhere, then it all gets a bit problematic. So what we're going to do, we're going to do a live streaming, hopefully, it's going to be a ZX Spectrum stream every week on Tuesday. That hasn't been missed at all, from 7 till 9. And on either Wednesday or Thursday, we'll do another stream from 7 to 9 as well. Might alternate between Amiga, Sega Mega Drive and Commodore 64. It might alternate between those three, keeping the Spectrum in place. So that's just an idea. Then every so often, energy permitting, I might throw in an unplanned bonus stream, as I did with the Player Managed one on Wednesday. So yes, Wednesday's stream was a bit problematic. I started an hour earlier. I think that caught a few people out. So at the start of the stream, it's just me and Julie talking to each other. It was a bit unusual. Maybe we should have done that on Skype. A few other people joined in a bit later on. But then there was a load of internet problems. Now I don't think this was Windows 10. I think when you do a live stream, I mean, internet speed my side is actually brilliant at the moment, 18.1 or so. Now I've upgraded it compared to what it was, which was like 0.6 when the days we did the 360p. But I think what happens is, when you do a live stream, you use your broadcasting software. In my case, it's something called OBS. That links up to YouTube, and it says it's a good connection. And then, so my stream's going into YouTube, then YouTube distributes it to anyone that's watching through the YouTube platform. Now, I think every so often, the connection isn't great, so people the other side get buffeting. And now I know the only way to correct that is to stop the stream. It's a lot of hassle. Reschedule it and go back up and running again with a fresh connection. So we struggled in the first half an hour on that Amiga one, so apologies there. I couldn't really work out what was going on. People were getting buffering every 3 seconds, some people were getting buffering every 10 seconds, but it was going up and down. We stopped the stream, restarted it, and of course then for the last hour and a half, everything was going hunky-dory, everything was absolutely cool. So it's two things happened there which caused it a bit of a pain in the bottom. One is I started an hour early, which I won't do in future. I'll still do 7 to 9 because it's good to get a regular pattern so people know it's there. And also as well, if that problem happens with the buffeting, a lot of people getting it, just right, I know what to do, stop the stream, tell everyone and do it. But I have to start a new chat box and all that sort of stuff. So it's a lot of hassle, but hopefully it won't happen too often. It was a bit of an anomaly, but it took me a bit by surprise. And then later on, I did another stream which was no problem at all with that one as well. I don't think we'll do that every week. It's a player manager on the Commodore Amiga we did from 9 to 10 from a previous game save, so that didn't corrupt at all. So it's been a bit of a mixed week for me in terms of the tech, but hopefully I've still kept it fun for you. Videos have been going up, so all in all about 5 hours of streaming this week, and then the regular games as well, which we'll come to in a moment. Yeah, so Amiga, that's just an idea of this stream at the moment, rotating between the Commodore Amiga, Mega Drive and Commodore 64. We'll see how that goes for a bit. Gives me a time to play different games and different systems as well, because we haven't really done any Mega Drives, and people have been saying when you're going to do another Commodore 64 thing. It's possible we might do a half and half one as well, Atari 2600 and something else too bolted together. And the Sunday streams, which I haven't done yet, still on the back burner, so we'll forget about that for the time being. If it happens, then superb, great. I'll take you by surprise one day, I will do. Okay, so yeah, just looking at the games that are covered this week, you might not have seen all of them. If you've got time to have a look at them, then feel free to do so. There's a lot of content on the channel. Quite often when there's a comment there, I get an alert as well, so more often than not, even if the video's been up 4 or 5 years, I will answer it, or at least read it. So the games I most enjoyed this week was Pipe Dream on the Commodore Amiga, known in most other places as Pipe Mania. I think there was like 2 different versions, but they're exactly the same. Pipe Mania, I think, is the most popular title it's been known as. A good little puzzle game this. We did play it on the live stream. Basically, you're on a grid, you have to collect pipe work. I'll put up some footage there. You have to collect as long a pipe work as you possibly can before the flues is released, a yellow liquid, or later it turns, I think, red or green. And you get a point for every square that it goes through. If it runs out of pipe, then you're dead or you lose a life. Not much to it when I explain it like that, but it is a pretty good game, so that is a good one to see. The other standout games for me really are on the ZX Spectrum. There was Roger the Pangolin. It's a really cool homebrew. I reviewed quite a lot of homebrews which have been made using AGD, Arcade Game Designer, but this one is from the ground up and really clever. It's one of those games you look at it and think, how the hell have they done this all in 48K? It's very Sonic the Hedgehog sort of like graphics, but what's really clever about this game is the use of colour. If you're familiar with a game called Trailblazer, it takes a cue from that, but it's a rather curved surface rather than a flat surface. Colour on the vertical and the horizontal is absolutely amazing. There's no colour bleed at all on the thing. It's about avoiding obstacles with a rolling pangolin and trying to get to the end as quickly as you can. Lots of different courses as well, so lots of fun there. It's a work of genius. Its full name, Roger the Pangolin, in 2020 Node Tour. And the other game I liked, we didn't quite get the hang of it, but I liked it for its retroness, was Spider-Man on the Atari 2600. Spider-Man must scale a building with his web slinger. He can fall down if the web slinger doesn't connect the building properly. You have to defuse bombs, avoid villains looking out windows, get past the Green Goblin, and swing into a checkered square up the top. Now, it doesn't sound too much to it, does it really? Has it aged well? Well, if you've got a retro mind, it's not too bad. I quite liked it, although a bit of the top eluded me, but with a bit of practice, I'll probably get that. So it's good seeing these right old games, and Spider-Man, although it doesn't look like the Spider-Man character, ticks quite a lot of boxes there. I didn't like all the games. Some I felt could have been a little bit better. There's a race game called Cisco Heat, which I think a few of you liked, and that's why retro gaming is good. Some people like take things from games, other people just see the things they don't like. I try and see the good things in the games, and there were some good things in Cisco Heat, where the car would flip over, but the frame rate wasn't brilliant, the turns were a little bit iffy, and it hurt my eyes rather, seeing a red car on a green background. Someone joked that what would it look like in 3D glasses. Haven't tried that yet, but I think it would look absolutely, well, crazy. I had to play it with a poke on it because it is a little bit difficult. I think back in the day it would have just made me blind. Or, yeah, there's better races available, but I can see why some people would have liked it. As I say, the coding when the car spins in the air and it crashes is really, really clever. And the other game was Back to the Future Part 2. I like elements of this game. I think it's clever as well, but parts of it are a bit too long. The hoverboard at the start's a bit long. I had this game on the Commodore Amiga, which come packaged with, so I've got a warm feeling for it, more than I should have. So I didn't mind the game, but I can see why people were a little bit bored of it. And the video that took the most time to put together this week, which hopefully you've had a chance to look at and enjoy if you're into the Spectrum stuff that goes up on the channel, was a recap video. We do summaries every now and again. So it's ZX Spectrum games reviewed on the channel, 701 to 750. And as we speak, we're gearing towards 800. Now I'm getting really excited now because once we reviewed 1,000 games, I think that's a really good achievement, isn't it? Reviewing 1,000 games. I think we reviewed more or less 2,000 games in total on the channel, which again is a huge number. But on ZX Spectrum, I'm really looking forward to getting to 1,000. Quite a few of those are mods of Jet Set William Manning Minor, but you know, it's still a good title and different games in that respect. So we'll come to the shout outs in a moment. Shout outs are for members, and that really keeps the channel running. Without you guys there, I wouldn't be able to do this at all. I work part-time. I'm trying to get some more hours at the moment because it's not very comfortable. But yeah, what I don't want to do is get full-time plus, and then I wouldn't be able to run this at all. But I'm sure I'll find a way to keep it going regardless. But we want to keep it going at this speed, with the 2 live streams and with the current videos going up, because I want to be known as the hardest worker on YouTube. I do look at what other channels are putting up as well, but I want to put up more than them, and I want the quality to be, well, it's in the eye of the beholder, isn't it? I want the quality to stay the same and not get rubbished, or seem rubbish. I want to be enthusiastic. I don't want to feel like I'm phoning it in. I want to you know, cheer you up at the end of the day, because if you're not enthusiastic about what you're doing, then why bother? Why bother? Why bother? It's as a hobby I want to make more serious. So hopefully that comes across. Up, and cheering up the troops. So I normally come to a news thing that's happened in the week. Might be funny, might be scientific, but the main thing that's happened, which you've probably seen it as well, I'm quite into space. NASA have got their Mars Perseverance rover landed on Mars. It's always a bit dodgy. I think only a third of things sent to Mars have ever landed safely. They seem to have cracked it now though, NASA, with their Perseverance rover. Landed on the 18th of February, I believe, and already 3 days later, on the 21st of February, it sent back a high-definition panoramic view of the surface, which is incredible. If you think, how long have you had HD TV? Well, this thing is on Mars, which takes 2 years to get to, and has already sent an HD thing back. My phone just went beep to beep. Someone just sent me something important. What is it? It's oh, something about COVID from Sky. Why do I need to know that? I don't know. I should have turned that off. Anyway, there's probably a setting. What was I talking about? Yeah, the Mars Perseverance rover. That wasn't from it. I thought it might have been. Yeah, so how long have you had HD on your TV? Now we're getting HD pictures back from Mars. It's 142 images stitched together. It looks mightily impressive. When I look at it, I think, wow, I'm looking at something on a different planet here. If I showed myself that when I was at junior school, I would have gone absolutely mad. A lot of it does look like a quarry in Wales, perhaps it is, but it is definitely Mars. Now the idea on this Perseverance rover is landed in a crater, which they believe at one point in ancient Mars life might have been an ocean or a lake, and so the perfect place to maybe look for historic traces of life, whether that be bacterial or fossils, or just the merest of microbes. I think it's going to do some drilling and take some samples and see if there's any organic matter in that. So that's quite exciting, because if you're going to look for life anywhere, the oceans is where it started. It certainly started at Earth, and that's where they're going to look. If they find any traces of life, even if it's no longer alive, traces of death I suppose, it'll be monumental. There's some theories that the water table on Mars is sunk down lower than the planet, and some bacterial microbes might be within that, and therefore protected from the bombardment of radiation that happens on Mars' surface, because Mars hasn't got a functioning magnetic pole. It can't bump away ultraviolet light, so it's very hard for life on the surface to exist at all. But that's pretty exciting, and I look forward to what's coming back. We're desperate, aren't we, to find some life on some planet somewhere, or some moon, and that's what, yeah, it'll change everything the day that happens. To be honest with you, I think our only chances of finding life that's still alive, like any complicated life, not talking about intelligent life, I'm talking about fishes and you know, multi-celled organisms, are probably on one of those moons, either Europa from orbits Jupiter, possibly Titan there, or maybe Enceladus, I think is one of Saturn's moons, where they got vast oceans underneath a block of ice, and Enceladus in particular been shooting water geysers into space, which might indicate there's some volcanic activity or some volcanic vents on the surface. And if you look at those volcanic vents on Earth, that's where bacterial life and a whole lots of food chain starts off from. So it's very, very promising. It's got the water table and it's got the nutrients coming out from these volcanic vents and the heat being produced low down. Well, bingo! Let's have a look at there. So very exciting stuff. So again, hope you've enjoyed watching the channel, and we'll come to the members now, because as I say, without you guys it really helps. If you want to become a member on the channel, get access to the members section where you get a number of perks. So you can see what videos are going up in the following week, and that's just $1.99 if you want to help the channel. But don't do it if it's going to cause you financial difficulty. Only do it if you won't miss it. Never put yourself in financial difficulty, because I won't think anything worse of you, and the videos will always go up free, as I said before, and I'll always say it's about beating stress at the end of the day. Just got to keep this channel running. And if you want to go on the second tier, I'll give you a shout out. Your name, unless you don't want me to, obviously let me know if that's the case, for any projects you're doing. And I think there's about 3 of you again this time I'm going to shout out. If you want me to stop doing it, because there's one here that I've shout out been told to, but I'm just continuing it week and week, then let me know as well. As the upper tier also, which is absolutely fantastic, it's making a massive difference to me. Yeah, as the numbers grow, then hopefully the dream is to do this full time, upgrade this camera, as I said a few times, and then you know, concentrate on the stuff that we got and improve it and get better to it and try and get a wider audience. So thank you this week to the second tier and above, although I thank you to all tiers, right? To Jason Smith, thank you sir, Squidworth, Stuart Laycock, Natty Nicky and Claire Johnson, thank you. James O'Grady, John Roby and Jeffrey Searby, thank you everyone. I hope you are doing good. I know a lot of you catch some of the live streams every now and again, which is really appreciated, getting that community spirit going, and that's when the channel functions at its best, I think. So thanks to Steve and Norman there, thank you. And I'll also mention there regarding Steve, his blog again. It's retroarcadia.blog. It's a retro gaming blog, so that's retroarcadia.blog. So last week when I mentioned it, he done part 1 of his 25 favourite gaming anthems, which is a very interesting read, very detailed. And this week he's done part 1 of, well, part 2 of that really, showing the rundown of his favourite one. So check that one out, show that some love. Retroarcadia.blog, a really well put together site and really colourful as well, very professional. So thank you Steve for your support there, and special thanks also to Lemmy Barnett, good old Steve Q, thank you Steve, your help has been absolutely sensational, so thank you very much. Have a good weekend, good weekend to everyone. Phil Hill, Rossy Bossy as well. Now if you follow Rossy on Twitter, it's getting really exciting now with his game in development. There's no deadlines for it. It will gradually upgrade every now and again with different bits and pieces. I've provided a bit of the speech for that, which might get used, might not get used, but it's up to Rossy really if we need to record anything or where he wants to put it. But it's up to him to make the game as best as it can, and we'll take direction there. But a really good looking game, 3D pixel racing. Let's just double check that, because I always get the name wrong in my brain. Just 2 seconds. I always miss out a word or something like that. Come on, confirm identity. What's it doing to me? I don't want to confirm my identity. Why is it doing this in a video? It never does that. It never does that. Right. There we go. Have you pinned it, Rossy, to the top? You've pinned it, right? Yeah. So Super 3D Pixel Grand Prix. That's it. Super 3D Pixel Grand Prix. Good. Looks very very good, doesn't it? Looks very good. There it is, racing away in a sort of like a demo mode, but very good. I'll put a link to his site. It's got a few other projects he's done previously as well. So check out Rossy Bossy's thing there. Kickstarter might be launching soon. I'll let you know any news about that when it happens, or follow Rossy on Twitter. I retweet a lot of his stuff. Thank you also to Chono Baggy and Jason Holmes. Thank you, fellas, and Andrew Gibson. Thank you very much. Great stuff. And 5 of you are on the top tier, so this is absolutely marvellous. Thank you. I've got Martin Rymel, Richard Mitten, thank you. Tom, Graham Vebke, occasionally drops into a live stream if he can do. I know it's quite hard for him because he's in Australia, so some of the later ones he might be able to get to there. So thank you very much, Graham. Really appreciate it. Again, your help has been absolutely outstanding and sensational. You know, it really makes a difference to keep the channel running. So thank you. And also big thanks to Julie Monkton. I got a shout out for her site as well. It's the same one as last week, but I've got a few extra bits to say. It's schoolreading70sbooks.weebly.com. A link will magic itself onto the screen, I'm sure. That's schoolreading70sbooks.weebly.com. Let's get back onto my Twitter thing. It asked me to identify for my identity. 16% battery. That should be enough, shouldn't it? That should be enough. Right, check out the messages. So this is a good thing. If you follow me on Twitter and you're a member as well, you can do these messages and I can look them up. I would write it down, but I don't want to miss anything. Right, so yeah, school70sbooks.weebly.com, and also as well, it covers quite a lot of classic books. You might get you will get a nostalgia buzz. There'll be some books you've forgotten about that you'll pick up on. But it's got some good reading schemes which you might have read as a kid or back in the day. The schemes are The Free Pirates, Benjamin the Blue, Gregory the Green, and Roger Red Hat. And also as well, which is quite dear to me, I remember as a kid, is Tim and the Hidden People. Okay, and there's also And the Wide Range Readers. Yeah, all are covered extensively on the website there. I said to I'm not sure I'm going to be able to see this when I turn it around. I said to Julie, the only one I sort of remember vividly is of Tom and the Hidden People is the Tim and the Hidden People. Sorry, brain's going silly. Is one where Tim is on a ghost bus, and there we go. Julie found that. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. So there we go. That was sitting on her shelf. So that was rather impressive there. Rather impressive. So yeah, thank you everyone, especially to the members. If you want to become a member, click on the join button. It doesn't commit you straight away. There's some twit in a hat, a bit like this one. We'll explain a bit further how it works before, if you decide you want to commit yourself. So no harm in hitting on the join. It won't take anything straight away. So thank you for that. Also as well, if you don't want to do that but you do want to support the channel, there's Ko-Fis. If you go onto the main channel page, or if you see it in a live stream, it's on the main channel page as well as one of the links below the banner. So yeah, there will be a couple of ZX Spectrum games going up live tomorrow. Members will know what they are, and on Sunday there'll be a couple of bids as well. So always 4 games on the Saturday. Thanks for watching again. Thanks for watching this video. Have a great weekend. Have a good evening. And until next time, take great care of yourself and are very fond. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye, E.
And Jenkin.